There's still been no accountability for top Trump administration officials who disclosed the details of a military operation to a journalist on an unsecured chat app. NBC News has now confirmed that Israel did provide sensitive intelligence that was in fact discussed in that chat about the operation. And new this morning, it appears this problem goes beyond one conversation. The Wall Street Journal is reporting Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth brought his wife to meetings with military counterparts where sensitive information was discussed. That's according to multiple people present or with knowledge. NBC News has not independently confirmed that reporting, but has reached out to the Pentagon for comment. It's a busy morning for them over there. Hegseth ignored questions about that reporting as he arrived in Japan hours ago. The developments intensify questions regarding Hegseth and other officials' recklessness with the nation's most sensitive secrets.
Hey, he's going to get used to. He's going to get used to the walk and ignore, because the questions are going to come fast and furious. So get used to learning how to walk and ignore those questions being thrown at you about how you're mismanaging your job.
But also, they like, you got to have an answer, especially when it's these many things. The laugh and he on something like this, yes, because he looks insensitive, and the rank and file within the Pentagon and in the military, they are not laughing. So Pete Hegseth is like, you need to get an answer.
Do you really think they care? Do you really think Pete Hegseth cares what the rank and file are sensitive about?
I do, yeah. I think at the Pentagon and the military, yeah, because that's what they're saying. They're like, oh, the media, the Democrats, everybody else, but the military is with Hegseth. And, you know, other outlets have reporting this week that the military is, in fact, not with Pete Hegseth.
It's just amazing to me that we are now on day 6 of this story. In a different administration, someone would have taken responsibility. Even if they wouldn't have resigned, though they would have resigned, someone would have said, we are not going to do this again. There are going to be new protocols in place. It is just the denial in part. It is the lack of accountability. And then it is the fact that there is no plan for this to not happen again.
I mean, I guess if we let them off the hook on this one, there is no ever holding them accountable for anything. So stay on the story, folks.
Get ready with the hook.
Joining us now, our Media Matters president, Angelo Corazon, and former Republican Congressman Charlie Dent. I just like saying Angelo's name.
He has a great name. He really does. And it's great having you both at the table, gentlemen. Good morning. Congressman, let's start with you and a familiar name and face. Hillary Clinton, who in an op-ed, I think, very succinctly laid out this moment from a national security perspective, but essentially to what Simone was saying. She noted, quote, "If there's a grand strategy at work here, I don't know what it is. Maybe Mr. Trump wants to return to 19th century spheres of influence. Maybe he's just driven by personal grudges and is in way over his head. As a businessman, he bankrupted his Atlantic City casinos. Now he's gambling with the national security of the United States. If this continues, a group chat file will be the least of our concerns, and all the fist and flag emojis in the world won't save us." It really draws up for me, Charlie, the performative nature of all of this, you know, sort of the bro culture on that chat. Unserious men in very serious jobs thinking they know what they're doing, but we see now they didn't.
Well, I think what Secretary Clinton is getting at here is the Trump worldview, where he does see spheres of influence. He is driven by oftentimes personal or petty grievances, say with Canada and Justin Trudeau, and I think that's a big part of the reason why he's carried on as he has. And there is really no grand strategy. So I think she's absolutely right. And with respect to these intelligence failures, this signal chat screw up is the most recent in a series of pretty serious revelations. You know, we can go back to Chelsea Manning, Edward Snowden. We can go back to Trump's meeting with Lavrov in the White House and the Russian ambassador at the time, where he had at that time shared sensitive information with the Russians in public view that also unsettled the Israelis, by the way, just as is the case now. Apparently some of this intelligence that has been revealed may have been provided by the Israelis. So it just speaks to how not only unserious, but how how fearful our own allies are of right now sharing intelligence with us. I mean, I worry about the state of Five Eyes, with the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Are they going to continue to share information with us, intelligence with us, given all that's been happening in this country? So this is where we are right now.
Well, and to that point about Five Eyes, you already have Canadian leaders saying, we're just going to have to be more Canadian. We're going to have to rely on ourselves more. I think there are questions about whether or not they're going to continue to share at the same levels. And then you have this reporting that some of the intel that was shared on that chat came from Israel. That specifically was this: the first target, their top missile guy. We had positive ID of him walking into his girlfriend's building, and it's now collapsed. If you are allies and you're watching this, what are you thinking? If you are our adversaries, what are you thinking?
I mean, one, you're thinking that they don't obviously care. They don't protect their information very well. And two, they're recalibrating how they're going to interact with us. And it's not just this report. One of the things that happens when these issues take place is that you get other reporting. And there's this idea somehow that journalism doesn't matter anymore because maybe their ratings are down a little bit or people are consuming news different, but it sure does. Because when you have a moment like this, people start to ask questions and dig. And what we found out recently is that he's bringing his wife to official meetings and getting it where confidential information is being disclosed. He's hiring his brother in a high-level position. This is Pete Hegseth. So, it's not really inspiring confidence, and it obviously is going to change and affect the behavior of those around us. And I think, to me, that's, where the accountability comes in, because it's not just about how you manage the narrative, the public side of this. That's how Trump obviously thinks about it. It's how you actually deal with the mechanics of government and governing. And if there's no accountability, as Simone was noting before, then there's no indication that it gets better. There's no indication that anyone could have confidence in sort of the process or the stuff that they share with us. And that, to me, is the really concerning part about all of this, is where we go from here.
I think, and I wrote about this for MSNBC Daily this week, but I do think that it is not enough to ask the Inspector General of the Department of Defense to investigate. And Senator Roger Wicker, he has asked Congressman for the Inspector General to do an investigation. I would like to know Donald Trump fired the Inspector General of the Department of Defense. And so the person who's in there now has been at the DOD for a while, but he's just acting. But he saw how the other guy got moved out. I do think Congress really has to step up here. Like, at the end of the day, I think two of the most bipartisan things that can bring Democrats and Republicans together on the Hill are our love for making sure we are competing with China, competition, not conflict, and the military. Military, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, the military are servicemen and women. You've got Republicans even now pushing for review. Senator Roger Wicker, he's chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Again, he would request this Inspector General report. You've got Don Bacon of Nebraska saying this is just flat out saying this is a bad thing that happened. Where are the other Republicans? And if they're not going to step up on this, how can anyone expect them to step up on anything else?
Well, I think that Congress has to absolutely exercise real oversight of this matter. I'm pleased that Senator Wicker, chair of the Armed Services Committee, has called for an Inspector General investigation. I actually think that's a good thing because those inspectors general, based on my experience, do conduct nonpartisan, thorough investigations and have been pretty damned independent over the years. Obviously, they've been under pressure under this administration, but I think that's a good start. But that doesn't relieve Congress of doing its duty to review this. And Don Bacon would be a perfect guy to conduct a review. He was a one-star general himself in the Air Force, and he, I think, oversaw the Ramstein Air Base in Germany at one point. He would be a perfect person to do a review of this. He's an armed services guy. So Congress has to step up. I mean, this is just too big of an issue. There must be some level of accountability, at least for someone in this chat, because this is just an egregious breach of operational security. I think everybody knows that, and anybody who's saying it isn't is just giving you a line of bull.
There's a certain body language you get when anyone talks about what Republicans in Congress do. You know that, right? You start moving papers around. You play with your pen.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Simone.
It matters, but we know the answer to the question.
What do you mean, Michael Steele?
These people don't care. Don Bacon, Wicker, they don't care. These are just words on paper. Stand in front of a bank of microphones, Angelo, and say, hey, Mr. President, he needs to go. Yeah. Because this is not the way we should be running our intelligence. You have all the 18 people on this chat, and not one of them figured out that they were on a damn cell phone?
Well, maybe because they've done it before.
There you go. So the idea that someone's going to care at this point is ludicrous.
If I could put an exclamation point on what you were just saying, too, is that in less than 2 weeks or about 2 weeks, let's not forget that Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, are due to give Donald Trump a report about the Insurrection Act. I mean, that was one of the first things he did when he came into office, was sign an executive order saying that within 90 days, the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Homeland Security are going to report back as to whether or not I'm supposed to invoke the Insurrection Act. And that is an irresistible temptation for this man. It's deeply tied into this conversation, not just about how they operate with classified information, but obviously what a total sycophant that Pete Hegseth is. I mean, he's clearly not in any position now to push back against the thing that Trump wants. So we can assume it's going to be a full rubber stamp from him. So if I'm a Republican in Congress and I care not just about the health of the military, but also my role as a legislator, I would be making hay about this right now for my own self-interest.
Right.
I would do politics. Use this as a moment to get some of your political power back, which they haven't. They abdicated it right away. This is a chance for them to at least keep a foothold, and they're not even taking it. So to your point, they don't care.
They don't care. That's what my coffee told me.
I'm with Charlie Dent. They care, Charlie.